note whenever you are attempting such a question is that you have to look for how the series is going. That is, the series can be in either three ways. It can be either in ascending order, it can be in descending order, or in a mixed format. That is, whenever you are seeing such a question, it can be in either ascending order, it can be in descending order, or it can be in mixed format, right? So this is a simple example of an ascending number series. Ascending means starting from a small number, then the bigger one, then the bigger one, than that, then moving on to the largest number. So that is an ascending order of series. So how this ascending order of series is being created is by either adding of numbers to the first numbers or multiplying of numbers to the initial numbers, like that. Okay, so only by adding or multiplying, then we can form a ascending order of or ascending number series. Okay, so how to solve this is, first we have to look for the numbers. So if you see these numbers, you can clearly identify that this is by adding of either a combination of number or simply some numbers with the number series. And how can you identify that it is by addition? Because if you look the two numbers which is close, the difference between these numbers is less, right? So this is 3, this is 30, sorry, this is 30, this is 33, this is 26, this is 30. So it is by addition we can identify. So if it was multiplication, then the difference between these two numbers which are close would have been greater, right? So this is a simple conclusion in order to simplify the number series. Okay, so next thing we have to do is we have to find what number is being added to each of the numbers, and then the number series has been formed. So for that we have to do one thing. We have to subtract the larger number from the smaller number. That is, so 23 minus 19 is 4, right? So the 19 is being added with 4 and 23 is formed. Now it is very clear, 23 plus 3 will get, that is, will form 26. Again, 26 plus 4 will form 30. 30 plus 3 will form 33, right? So if you look the numbers which are being added, it is a continuous format, that is 4, 3, 4, 3, like that. So 4, 3, 4, 3. So the next number will be 4. So you have to add a 4 to this number and the next number will be obtained. And the number will be 33 plus 4 is 37. So this is how the number series is formed. So how can we identify that it is addition? It is by looking at the closer numbers. If the difference between the numbers is less and it is an ascending series, means it is some number being added to the initial numbers and that series is formed. So that is the simple conclusion. And here the number is 37. Okay. Now let's see another number series which is also in the ascending format, that is 1, 3, 12, 60, and what is the next number? It is a question. Okay, so if you look at the numbers, it is very clear that this is also an ascending series. It is also in the increasing order, right? So 1, 3, 12, 60. And if you look at the number, you can identify that the difference between the numbers is large, right? So it can be the product of some numbers, that is, these numbers are being multiplied with some numbers and the series is formed. So this you have to identify by looking at the closer numbers, that is, can it be an addition, can it be a multiplication, you have to identify. So it can also sometimes be get changed based on the questions, right? But most of the times it will be like this only. So here if you see 1 is multiplied with which number to get 3? It is with 3, right? And if you see 3 and 12, 3 is multiplied with which number to get 12? That is 4. 12 is multiplied by which number to get 60? It is by 5, right? So into 3, into 4, into 5, and the next will be into 6. So the multiplication numbers are in the correct order of sequence, that is 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so sometimes it can also be jumbled up. That is, it can be first 4 into 4, then into 3, into 3, into 4, like that. So the next number will be 60 into 6 is 360 is your next number. So this is how the ascending series is formed. This is the trick to solve the ascending number series. The next step of the number series is descending number series. So how to form a descending number series is by either subtracting some numbers from the initial numbers or the first numbers, or by dividing the first numbers by some numbers, and hence the number series, that is a descending number series, is formed. And here also, if you see the pattern of the numbers, you can find or identify whether the numbers are being subtracted or whether some numbers is being divided from these numbers to get the number series. Okay, so if you look at these numbers, it is clear that 34 is not divided by any number to get 18, because there is no relation between, that is 34 and 18, right? So it will be some subtraction, and in order to find that, we'll have to subtract this 34 from 18. So 34 minus 18 is 16, right? Again, 18 minus 10 is 8, and 10 minus 6 is 4. Now 6 minus 4 is 2, right? So if you look at these numbers, you can see the numbers which are being subtracted is actually the multiples of 2. 2 into 2 is 4, 4 into 2 is 8, 8 into 2 is 16, like that. So what will be the next number? That is 16 by 2 is 8, right? 8 by 2 is 4, and 4 by 2 is 2. Here again you have to divide this number by 2 to get the next number. That is, you will get a 1 here, and 4 minus 1 is your next number, which is 3. Right. So this is how the descending number series is formed in case of subtracting some numbers from the given numbers. So in this case, we can identify that from the pattern of the numbers that some number is being subtracted from the numbers, and hence the series is formed. That is, in order to find that, we have to subtract the larger number from the smaller number from the larger number, that is 34 minus 18, which will give you a 16. Then 18 minus 10 is 8. 10 minus 6 is 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. And if you see these numbers which are being subtracted, it also form a series. That is 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 2, 8, 8 into 2, 16. So here the next number will be, that is 2 by 2, that is 1, right? So 1 is your next number, and you have to subtract this 1 from this 4 and you will get a 3. So your next number is 3. The next number series in the descending number series format is this: 720, 120, 24, 6, 2 and 1. And by seeing the number pattern itself, it is very clear that some number is being, or a series of numbers are being divided with this series to get the particular number series. So in order to find that, we have to divide the numbers by some numbers. Okay, so how to find out? First, we have to divide this 720 with 120, and you will get, that is 720 by 120 is equal to 6, right? So you have divided 720 by 6 to get 120. Again, to get the next number, 120 by 24 is 24 into 5 is 120. So the next number is 5. Now you know 6 into 4 is 24. So 4. That is, we are dividing 6 with this. That is 6 from 720 to get 120. And dividing this 120 by 5 will get 24. And 24 is divided by 4, we will get 6. Again, 6 is divided by 3 and we will get 2. The next number will be 2 and we will get 1. And the next number is 1. So 1 divided by 1 and the result is 1. So the next number in the series is 1. If you see the numbers which are being divided, it is 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Okay, so by looking at the number format or the pattern of the number itself, we can identify that the numbers are being divided by some other numbers. And by seeing at the above numbers, we can clearly identify that this is nothing but subtraction. And here we can clearly identify that it is nothing but division. Also, all the numbers are even numbers, right? So it is clear that some numbers are being divided. So this is the simple format of descending number series. There are also a lot of complex questions in which a combination of numbers will be divided or subtracted from the numbers. But generally, if you see the simple questions, it will be like this only. Type of number series are mixed number series. So in the mixed number series, the numbers are formed or the series is formed by either addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, by adding or subtracting of squares or cubes or anything. Okay, so this is actually a mixed number series and we have to find out the number in the middle. Okay, so how to find this? We have to first identify that how the number series is formed, right? So the first number is 14, the next number is 70. And if you see the difference between these two numbers, it is 3, right? So 3 is being added here. And if you see the difference in numbers between these two numbers is 31 minus 17 is 14, right? Okay. So the difference between these two numbers is 14. Again, if you see the difference between 48 and 31 is 8 minus 1 is 17. Okay, so while looking at these numbers, it looks somewhat similar to the above numbers, right? So here there is a 3, okay. Here if you see there is a 17, there is also a 17. If you see here is a 14, here is also a 14. And how is a number series actually formed? Okay, so this number series is actually formed by adding of the adjacent numbers. That is, this 31 is formed by adding of 17 with 14, which is your previous number. Here 14 plus 17 will give you your 31. Okay, similarly, your this one and this one, that is your 17 plus 31 will give you 48, right? And also similar to that, you have to form this 31 plus 48 to get your missing number. So in mixed series, we have to find some missing numbers in between. In most of the cases, it will be like that only. And we have to find it by finding the relation between the number series of the other numbers. That is how the other numbers in the series is formed. We have to find the relation first and then we have to find the missing number. So here 31 plus 48 is 97. That is 79 is your missed number. Now we have to find whether this follows the series or not. So for that we have to take the sum of these two and we have to check whether 127 is obtained. Right. So 48 plus 79 is, it is 127, right? So the series is formed here and your missing number is 79. So how the series is formed is by adding of your adjacent numbers, your series is formed. Okay, so this is another type of series. So this is another type of question which can be asked in number series, patterns or exams. So I really hope you enjoyed watching the video. These are some tips to solve the number series questions. This tip you can use in any of the aptitude exam because all aptitude exams will be having at least one number series question. I really hope the tip was useful. Please do subscribe the channel for more such videos and also do share these videos with all your friends who's preparing for aptitude exams. And also don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Thank you.